Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella. She was the daughter of a wealthy and loving merchant who adored her more than anything in the world. Her life was filled with happiness and love until a tragic day when her mother fell gravely ill and passed away, leaving Cinderella and her father heartbroken. Years passed, and Cinderella's father, yearning for companionship, remarried a woman with 2 daughters of her own. The new stepmother and stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella, seemed pleasant at first, but once the wedding celebrations ended, their true nature was revealed. They were cruel, vain, and jealous of Cinderella's beauty and kind heart. Cinderella's father, oblivious to the true character of his new wife and stepdaughters, often travelled for his business, leaving Cinderella alone with them. The stepmother soon showed her malicious side, turning Cinderella into a servant in her own home. She was forced to do all the chores, cook meals, clean the house, and tend to her stepsisters' every whim. Cinderella's once bright and beautiful clothes were reduced to rags, and she slept on a thin straw mattress in the cold attic. Despite her harsh treatment, Cinderella remained kind-hearted and hopeful. She found solace in the company of the animals in the manor, especially the mice, birds, and a dog named Bruno. Her kindness towards them was reciprocated with unwavering loyalty. They would often help her with chores and keep her company during the lonely nights. One day, an announcement was made throughout the kingdom. The king was hosting a grand ball at the palace, and all the eligible maidens were invited. The purpose of the ball was to find a suitable bride for the prince, who had returned from his travels abroad. The entire kingdom buzzed with excitement, and Cinderella's stepsisters could hardly contain their glee at the thought of marrying the prince. Cinderella's heart fluttered with hope. She rushed to her stepmother and asked if she could attend the ball as well. The stepmother, seeing an opportunity to further humiliate Cinderella, agreed on the condition that she completed an impossible list of chores and found something suitable to wear. Cinderella worked tirelessly, her heart set on attending the ball. The animals, seeing her determination, decided to help. They found an old gown that had belonged to Cinderella's mother and worked together to restore it. With their tiny paws and beaks, they sewed and patched, transforming the dress into a beautiful gown. On the evening of the ball, Cinderella proudly presented herself to her stepmother and stepsisters in her elegant gown. But the moment they saw her, their eyes filled with envy. The stepmother, determined to prevent Cinderella from overshadowing her daughters, tore the dress to shreds, leaving Cinderella heartbroken and in tears. They left for the ball, leaving her alone and devastated. Cinderella ran to the garden where she wept bitterly. As her tears fell to the ground, a soft, warm light surrounded her. Startled, she looked up to see a kind and gentle woman standing before her. It was her fairy godmother who had come to grant her wish. "Dry your tears, dear child," the fairy godmother said with a smile. "You shall go to the ball." With a wave of her wand, she transformed a pumpkin into a magnificent golden carriage, the mice into horses, Bruno into a coachman, and the birds into footmen. Then, with another wave, Cinderella's tattered rags turned into a stunning gown of silver and gold, adorned with delicate glass slippers. "But remember, my dear," the fairy godmother warned, "the magic will only last until midnight. You must return before the clock strikes 12. Overjoyed, Cinderella thanked her fairy godmother and climbed into the carriage. As she arrived at the palace, everyone turned to marvel at the mysterious and beautiful stranger. The prince, captivated by her grace and charm, asked her to dance. They danced the night away, lost in each other's company. As the clock struck 11:30, Cinderella realised she needed to leave soon. She thanked the prince and hurriedly made her way out of the palace. The prince, desperate to know her name and keep her from leaving, followed her. But just as she reached the grand staircase, the clock began to chime midnight. In her haste, Cinderella lost one of her glass slippers on the steps, but she had no time to retrieve it. She hurried into the carriage, which whisked her away just as the last chime echoed through the night. The magic faded, leaving her in her tattered clothes, but the other glass slipper remained on her foot as a reminder of the magical night. The next day, the kingdom was abuzz with news of the mysterious maiden. The prince, determined to find her, announced that he would marry the girl whose foot fit the glass slipper. He sent his heralds with the slipper to every house in the kingdom. When the heralds arrived at Cinderella's home, the stepsisters eagerly tried on the slipper, but their feet were far too large. Cinderella, who had been locked in the attic by her stepmother, managed to escape with the help of her animal friends and appeared before the heralds. The stepmother and stepsisters scoffed, insisting Cinderella was just a servant. But when Cinderella tried on the glass slipper, it fit perfectly. She then produced the matching slipper from her pocket, proving she was the maiden from the ball. The prince, overjoyed, took Cinderella to the palace, where they were married in a grand celebration. Cinderella's kindness and grace won the hearts of everyone in the kingdom, and she and the prince lived happily ever after. As for the stepmother and stepsisters, they were left to reflect on their cruelty, realizing too late the consequences of their actions. Cinderella, true to her nature, forgave them but kept them at a distance, ensuring they could no longer harm her or anyone else. And so, the tale of Cinderella became a beloved story of hope, kindness, and the belief that dreams really can come true. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey through the story of Cinderella. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button for more enchanting tales and inspiring content. Until next time, may your dreams be as magical as Cinderella's. Please feel free to mention what you would like to watch next in the comments section below. Whether it is another fairy tale story or an episode about your favourite character doing whatever you imagine, we would be happy to produce it for you.